How's it going? David Dunn here from Lansdowne Roar, flying solo tonight. Just a little bit of a quick reaction to John O'Shea's first press conference as Republic of Ireland Interim Manager. He faced the media today at Abbottstown. Not just him, actually, it was Director of Football Mark Canham. Mark Canham, in fact, got proceedings underway, had a little speech, an opening statement, piece of paper, very official. Hopefully it wasn't redacted. And this is what he had to say. It was about the process of the appointment of a permanent new head coach, which is very close to the end, near its end point, and we look forward to announcing that new head coach in early April, said Canham. Existing contractual arrangements, and this is this is what's got tongues wagging today. Existing contractual arrangements mean that we are not in a position to announce any further details at this point, but as we have committed to, we will announce that in early April. The process has been ongoing for a specific period of time. We have given a series of updates. We're near the end of the process, and there's a confidentiality, easy for me to say, issue there, but we are near the end of the process. And then he refused to give any more details and just says, look, we're not going to talk about it. We have to respect the process and make sure it's confidential. So here's what we know. And we don't know a lot, to be fair. It's so much conjecture flying around. But this is what we do know. A manager will be appointed in April by the FAI. That's been reinforced today by Mark Canham. Lee Carsley is going to take charge of the English under-21s in March against Azerbaijan and Luxembourg. His next game, if he chooses to stay on as under-21s manager, will not be till the 6th of September when he play Northern Ireland in Belfast. So, there, it fits. We don't know anything. The media don't really know anything. We're kind of putting 2 and 2 together here, and we're trying to come up with 4. And to be honest with you, I can't see it being anyone else other than Lee Carsley. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But it just makes sense. Look, they approached him in November, apparently, to talk about taking over from Stephen Kenny. There was an issue over backroom staff. The FEI want to have their own staff. They're very big on that, having their own coaches. And I understand that. But also Lee Carsley, and absolutely too, he wants to have his own people. So maybe there is some sort of, coming together. And perhaps they've left it too late to leave England in the lurch. They've come to an agreement. This is my opinion, that they've come to an agreement. And basically, but it's come too late in the day for, they'd be leaving the FA in the lurch a little bit. And Lee Carsley, because he's a professional and he's a very good guy, from what I've heard, he doesn't want to burn those bridges. So he's going to finish up at the under-21s. And the FAI have gone, do you know what? Don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world if we have an interim manager. A hero to many in Ireland, John O'Shea. He'll come in. He'll take charge of the 2 games. Doesn't matter. And we'll get Brian Kerr in, and everybody feels good. And to be fair, it's kind of worked a little bit. Everyone's been quite pleased with Brian Kerr. This man was lost to Irish football for a number of years. He shouldn't have been lost. He shouldn't have continued as Ireland manager, in my opinion, but he should have had a role in Irish football. And he was kind of shut out in the cold, and that shouldn't have happened. That was an injustice. So now we have him back on board. And yes, we should tap into that knowledge. And Mark Canham basically said a lot of that today. But also I've seen to be fair to the FAI, and people aren't going to like this because they love to put the boot into the FAI and they don't help themselves. But if the FAI in April come out and say it's Lee Carsley, you have to applaud them. And I know people are going to look at it and go, no way. Are you off your, are you working for the FAI now, Dave? No, but you have to be fair. The FAI have gone about it. They've kept it confidential, and the press have been coming out with conjecture. First of all, we thought it was Lee Carsley, and then everyone went mad, and we reported on that. We said everyone's saying Lee Carsley. Then it wasn't Lee Carsley, and then it was it's Neil Lennon. Then it wasn't Neil Lennon. Oh, it's Chris Coleman. Everyone went mad over that. Then they said, no, it's not Chris Coleman. Then he heard Chris Coleman turn it down, which is utter nonsense, because there's no way Chris Coleman is turning down the Ireland job, or any football job, really, for that matter. Not being mean, let's be honest. And then there was talk about Slaven Bilic. Slaven Bilic is under contract till 2025. So I can't see that happening. Now, the only other candidate possible could be Anthony Barry, and that goes into the contractual arrangement there. He is going to be contracted until the end of the season with Bayern Munich, when he and Thomas Tuchel will leave Bayern Munich. However, he is also due to be the assistant manager of Portugal at the Euros this summer. So I can't see that happening. So it has to be, in my opinion, I can't see how else it could be anyone else other than Lee Carsley. And if they unveil Lee Carsley, you got to give the FAI credit. They're not the ones putting the stories. They may be flying a few kites if they can't get their man. But if they, and it doesn't matter that we've missed out on the 2 friendlies, because you got John O'Shea and you got Brian Kerr, and I think it will. I know Martin banged on about it last night, but I think it will bring a few people together. We'll put bums in seats. There's a lot of goodwill towards John O'Shea and Brian Kerr as well. So I think they've played that very well. Kevin Kilbane came out in the media, and all we've heard from Lee Carsley really are from his friends. Kevin Kilbane was one of them, and he said the first thing I would do would be to get Brian Kerr back in charge. And what have the FAI gone and done? Well, not in charge, but involved. They've gone and got him involved as technical director. Is this a little sort of look, we're listening? Maybe that's you'd think that would come from Lee Carsley himself to say to Kevin Kilbane. It's a conjecture, by the way, to get Brian Kerr in. Oh, there you go. There's Brian Kerr. And now we've heard about styles of play. So the style of play, we've heard that the FAI want us a 4-3-3. They want to play a lovely, an entertaining brand of football. We tried it under Stephen Kenny. I still think we can, just tweaked, and maybe with somebody who's a bit more qualified to implicate that and impart that message on these players. Now we've heard today from Mark Canham that actually the manager has full autonomy. Whoever comes in can do what he wants, and he can pick who he wants as a backroom staff. He has full autonomy there. However, we hope, and this is all from the press conference today, we hope that Paddy McCarthy, Rennie Gilmartin, and Glenn Whelan and John O'Shea all comes through the FAI program will be involved. So you're starting to see, in my opinion, the language change a little bit here. I think they're gearing it up for Lee Carsley. That is my opinion. That's what I think is happening. I have no inside information. To be fair, on this podcast, we have said this all along. We said it would be an interim manager for March. We did say it'd be John O'Shea. With no inside information, we're just putting the pieces together and trying to do what we can with it. And we have also said that we think it is, it will be Lee Carsley. Now, John O'Shea did ask, or he was asked, like, what about you? And he kind of, he didn't want to get drawn in on that. Mark Canham didn't want to get drawn in on that either. He just said, well, look, the results will take care of itself. So you don't know. Mark Canham has turned around and said, well, we're going down the Eileen Gleeson process, which would mean that John O'Shea would get the job. I can't see that being the case. But I can see John O'Shea becoming Ireland manager in the future. And hopefully you get somebody like Lee Carsley in. And this is, yet again, me putting 2 and 2 together, hopefully getting 4. And basically, the knowledge this guy has, he can impart that on the FAI coaches and impart that wisdom and improve these guys, and they up their game and everybody's happy. And then we get more coaches in and we create a bit of an ecosystem, which I really hope is the case. But that's what I've got from it today. So I believe that it's going to be Lee Carsley in April. I'll be shocked if it isn't. And to be fair, if it isn't him, I can't see who else it could be, because it's not going to be a sheepskin jacket type like your Big Sam or whatever. It can't be. It just won't be. Mark Canham, to be fair, judging from his body language, he looked very assured. He looked very confident and very relaxed. And to be fair, if he does come out and deliver on Lee Carsley, he has every right to be, because the process has been quite watertight, which is frustrating. But we don't really like process in Ireland, do we? We like the gossip, and we like, no, tell us now. We don't really have patience. Well, if they do get Lee Carsley, they've been patient. They've gone after their man. He hasn't come out and said, no, not me. There's been none of that. So it was clearly, maybe not yet. And they've gone after him if they unveil Lee Carsley. But we'll see what happens anyway. This will, I'm sure that this will be another story that will unravel even further as we go on. I'm going to leave it there. As I said, just a quick 10-minute video. Thanks for watching. As always, guys, if you like what you hear, love what you see, hit that subscribe button. Head over to our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Give us a cheeky subscribe if you don't mind. We should be back on Thursday, maybe with another state of play. We'll see what's going on. But we will be back live this Sunday at 9:30. 9:30 for the Lance and Roar Live. Anyway, we'll see you then. Good night. God bless.